Hello, welcome to a Sims 4 build challenge where I'm going to let Microsoft Copilot create my floor plan. Here I am in Microsoft Copilot, and I have my prompt all set and ready. So basically, I'm going to let it make a floor plan for me, and I have to build that in The Sims, and I have to try my damnedest to make it look good. Let's see what type of cursed jargon this comes up with. You see this? This right here is why AI is never going to replace architects. Damn happy about that. I will try my best to try to figure out what's going on in this image and make it in The Sims. Here we go. I decided to go for this nice square lot, 30 by 30. It's one of my favorite sizes to work with. So yeah, I'm gonna figure this out. I'd say both the front walls are probably about 6 squares, so I'm gonna go 6 tiles on both sides. Just one has a bump out of an extra tile. There's 6 for the dining kitchen, up 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the living room. That looks similar. The kitchen's about a bit easier to get the tiles, and I'd say that goes about 5 tiles back. The living room, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 7 tiles because we have the 1 in the front. Then the wall is also another tile back, so I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be 7 tiles. Now I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the bedroom is also going to be 5 tiles like the kitchen. Now I can round off the back of this because we know exactly how far it's going to go. It's going to match up with the front because it's a flat back in the back of this house. So now I can close off the living room like it is in the image, close off the kitchen like it is in the image, and that will be the bathroom here. And I believe it just goes straight down the center again. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so we are going to have that 1 tile here for the door. Oh god, this is a mess. Look, I can't do this 1 tile to myself, so I'm going to take a liberty and say it was actually 2 tiles for the door and expand this side out by 1 more tile. I can't do the 1 tile to myself. It physically hurts. So yeah. You know, there are some liberties I have to take because AI is not going to get perfectly the style and spacing of the Sims in it. So, I think this is a liberty I can take. There. That looks slightly better. Then the bathroom, they have this weird thing where this goes 2 tiles, and then there's an opening to a sink. Yeah. Don't ask me. As somebody who's trying to be an architect, I have no clue what that would be. That's like the opposite of a water closet. You would flip it. You'd have like a small little thing over here, have the toilet, and then the rest would be open for like a sink and a tub. But yeah, that is essentially the layout of this house that AI generated me. I'm going to give it my best shot at duplicating the outside with the windows. On the image, you can see we have a very simple door with, like, no glass panes, nothing. It's very, very simple. It honestly looks a lot like this single ranch door, but I want something a little more, so I think I'm going to use this one from Seasons, and they had it in a wood color, so I'll do a wood color. I might end up changing these wood colors to try to match a little bit better with the whole style that I'm gonna go with inside the house. Now, I don't know if you can see it in the image, but it looks like there is a doorway to the bathroom through both the living room and in the bedroom. It's like a weird Jack and Jill type of situation. So I have to do it. Unfortunately, I have to do it. So we would have one here and have one probably right about there. Because I think that's kind of what it shows in the image. If I can kind of get a similar angle here going. Yeah, you can yeah, that seems right to me. It doesn't seem right, but like it matches the image. You know what I'm saying? Now, this house only has 4 windows. Yeah, 4 windows. I'm very sad. I'm very, very sad. And they're just not even that big of 4 square windows. I think I'm gonna use the horse ranch one. Oh, I don't know. Maybe if I can find a bigger 4 square window, I'll use that instead. I've gone through all the windows, and unfortunately, this kind of is the biggest. So, yeah, it's just in this the center of the room in each of these rooms. It's so sad. I think it's just so sad. Oh my god. Why? It's so sad. Well, let's get the door opening for the bathroom, I guess. Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate to what they've got going on. Now there is something weird in this floor plan. You can see right here in like the kitchen or the living room, dining room. Yeah, there's 2 dining rooms. There's a kitchen dining room and there's a living room dining room. There's like a false window into the bathroom. Yeah. Like I've seen like on HGTV, I've seen some like pretty wild like house floor plans, and I do believe I've seen that in one of them, if not into the bathroom, then into a bedroom, because it used to be the exterior of a house, an addition, and they just leave the windows up and just kind of like board over them on one side and they call it done. That's not a good renovation. That's a shoddy renovation. Ever see that? Don't buy that house. Probably wasn't legal. But yeah, that's what this reminds me of. I don't know exactly how I want to do that, so I think I'm gonna get lights in here and light this baby up before worrying about any other things like false windows. Well, at least it's a small house, so I can light it up easy because there's only 4 fucking windows, not including the false one. Now, I didn't actually do these windows entirely correctly because this one is actually off-center. On that side, yeah, it's off-center. For being truly accurate to the picture, what AI generated me, that is off-center. And it pains me. It pains me. I don't know how I'm going to make this look good. I don't know how, but I'm going to try. I have my layout figured out. Now I'm going, oh my god, is there any access to the living room? Yes, there is. Whew. There is. There's like an opening of like 1 or 2 tiles to get in there. Yeah, I'm going to call it 2 tiles. Yeah, I missed that when I was building it, but there is. I was worried for a second. You never know with AI. You never know. So yeah, I'm going to get down to business to defeat the Huns. I deserve nice flooring for all that I'm going to have to go through, so I'm using the Jungle Adventure one because it's very beautiful. I'm going to use it kind of throughout the hallway, living room, and bedroom. And then for the kitchen, I'm going to find a nice tile. I'm going to use this stone from the Business and Hobbies because I love it. I love this nice distressed pattern. I think it's gorgeous. And then maybe I'll even try to do like a little bit of a marble opening for like the tile here. The Get Famous marble is just gorgeous. I love it. And then I'm going to go over these with some nice trim. Well, it's in the fences, but I like to add little flooring trims. When you get to work, they have a very nice little thing you can use as a flooring trim, and I love to do so. I think it just breaks it all up very nicely, very realistic. Looks good. Then into the bathrooms, I'm going to use probably a bit more of a classic like bathroom tile in these rooms instead of like a fancy stone. I love fancy stones though. I love it. I have a nice simple white herringbone from the Growing Together pack. I think that'll look nice. And then I don't know if I should carry it throughout or maybe do something a bit more fun and funky in here. I'll see. Business and Hobbies just has really nice tile, so I think I'm going to do that. And then again, I'm going to break it up with that nice fence that I use as a flooring trim. Or maybe I can't. Oh yeah, no, I can't because it's an arch. I can't do that. So I'm going to just carry this flooring throughout so I don't have to worry. There it is. Yeah. I'm gonna start off with one room that kind of makes sense. The kitchen. And then I really want to add a column to make this look fancy right there. Like an intentional post. I think that'll be very nice to do. And then I love the nice distress column from Life and Death, so I'm going to do it. And then I will also do it over here. So I think it'll be very nice to kind of carry it through. Yeah, that's very nice. Looks very intentional. And now, time for the kitchen. No, I'm going to go out of my wheelhouse and use these for rent counters. I don't know, there's just something about them that's speaking to me right now. And looking at it, you can also see another false window right here, where the sink is supposed to be. So, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, AI certainly did not get the spacing on this correct, because I should not have this counter here. But the house, would it work if I shrunk it 1 tile again? I'm not too certain. Well, I'll give that a shot. Well, here it is shrunk, and I'm gonna go with it, I guess. That's all I can do. I'm gonna use the Jungle Adventure stove. I don't know, I'm kind of feeling it. It looks nice. There's a nice sink next to it that kind of matches. And now a fridge. Going with Jungle Adventure, gonna keep it matching. I do think the Jungle Adventure appliances go quite well with the for rent counters, too. So, that's nice. And then a trash can. I'm gonna splurge and get this myself. This nice one that came from one of those events. Okay. And then I guess I'm going to do a nice little eating nook in the kitchen because it has a kitchen dining area in the image. I'm gonna go with for rent to kind of like tie it all through, and I'm gonna put it right on the window and do just 3 chairs around. I think that'll be a good little dining nook. I think these ones from the newest event match this area, maybe? No, not really. Because I was looking at this and I was like, okay, that's kind of like the same shade of the counter but lighter, or same colors of the counter but a different shade. Oops, getting my color terminology mixed up. But looking at the space more spread out, it doesn't really work. I decided on these base game chairs. I don't remember which update that came in. That came in like an update years and years ago. But I think that has the best flow of the space, if this space has any flow at all. And now it's time to pretty it up with wallpaper and such. I think this goes really well. Kind of matches the countertops. The gold in between kind of matches that. Yeah, it's very nice. And then I can do just like a paint or wallpaper for the rest. I used this matching wall color that I think really just loves it. And then I float it into the hallway. I think that looks nice. And then I'll just use maybe a different color for the living area. Living area, I'm just going to do a nice gray, keep it nice, bright, open. Looks nice. Oh, and why did that change? Okay, gotta fix that. That looks fine now. So I'll go ahead and decorate this area up too. It's more like blocking in the furniture at this point, but yeah. Okay, this room needs a fireplace because it has nothing else going for it. So I'm going with this one from Growing Together. It matches the wood tone best that I used in here. It's not perfect, but it's different rooms, so I can mess it up a little bit. Then for a little bit of continuity, I'm going to use this tile right under the fireplace and then map it out with this fencing that I've been using throughout the rest to divvy up the floor patterns. They're very nice. Gonna use the painting TV right on top of it. It honestly looks very built in with these wood colors next to each other. I like it. And yeah, I'm just gonna put in the rest of the furniture, show you what I finish up with. Got all my base furniture laid down, nice sectional in the center with a rug, and then these Growing Together bookshelves, because I thought they gave a nice built-in look next to the fireplace. It looks very nice together. And then just a little TV or a computer station in the corner. Yeah, that looks very nice. On to this whack job of a bathroom. I'm not excited about this. So I have to have a toilet here, and then a sink in the center, and then I'm going to use my imagination and say there is a tub on this wall because you can't really see it in the image. So I'm just playing God and deciding, yeah, that's what's on this wall is a tub because I need this house to be functional at the very least. Just a nice simple toilet, simple sink, and then you know what? I'm going to do a bit more of an elaborate sink in this bathroom. I think it'll be fun. Look, just pretend these end pieces make sense. Yeah? So I want to match, like the cabinet style throughout the home. Yeah, nice whites and grays. Looks nice. Simple. Gets the job done. Now I get to find a bathtub to fit over here. I think the Seasons one is lovely with that little base at the bottom. Gorgeous. So this is the one I'm going to use. Yeah, that's probably like the best I can do with what I was given, which wasn't a lot. So that's the base furnishing. I just need to find the wallpaper now. Well, I suppose wallpaper is the wrong word. I need tile. And I want a feature wall over here with the stone. I think that'd be very nice. Because it kind of matches the stone, like, down there. Ooh, this swatch doesn't really show the stone in there very well. I might have to change that. Unless I use this one. That could also be fun. We'll see. I'll play around with the swatches. There, you can see the stone work in there. Matches up with that. I think that's very nice. Now then the rest of the room I'm probably going to do tile. Simple subway tile with the gray grout to match with the gray stone. It works perfectly fine. Now let's get some base furniture down in the bedroom. And the bedroom at least does have the window centered. Small mercies. I don't know if anything can be called a mercy at this point with this house, though. I'm going to go with this for rent bed just to kind of match with other things we've been doing in here. I think it's nice. Using these Growing Together glass top tables because I just think they're kind of fun. Gotta have a little bit of a fun feature in a house this wacky. I decided to build out like a nice little custom closet on this wall. I think it looks very nice. Now, I'm going to choose some wallpaper and then I'll come back and decorate later. Going for a nice feature wall along here. I think it works nicely. And if I change this to black, it works even better. I went with a nice serene green for the rest of the room to tie in with the green on those leaves. Yeah, I think this works very nicely. So now what I need to do is try to get the windows and doors a nice color to match with what I've got going on with the rest of the place. Thankfully, the windows have a swatch that matches pretty nicely with the other wood tones. And the front door, you know what, not too horrible. I think that matches okay. That's nice. These doors, though, let's see. Not bad. Okay. I'm moderately impressed. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and go crazy with clutter and show you what I end up with. In lieu of putting in those fake windows, I decided I'm just gonna do some wall plants. I think those work nicely without putting in some fake windows or something. And here is the kitchen and entryway. I think it all comes together quite nicely. Put this in to add a little bit of separation. And in smaller spaces, I like doing an accent table in lieu of a island. It gives the look of an island a little bit more storage without the bulk of an island. I think it works very nicely. Looks beautiful. And now I get to clutter up the living room. Here's a nice completed living room. I added some clutter. I tried to use more functional clutter just so that, there's some skill building, some fun items. Then I also tried to make it cozy with some pillows and blankets. I think it looks pretty nice. And these curtains are definitely way too much for that window, but I wanted to. I think it looks nice. So there we go. A beautiful living room. And the bane of my existence, the bathroom. Let's go. Okay, I kind of made this bathroom work. Got some nice shelving, put all your stuff, toilet. And then I decided to add a little bench. I don't know, it just kind of makes sense for this type of big-ass bathroom to have a little bench to, get dressed when you're out in the shower. Just, I don't know, be comfy. Some rugs. Just really made a nice little bathing area that looks very cozy. Yeah, I like this well enough. Now, the bedroom. Let's get some clutter in here. And here's the bedroom. I added some plants, some art, again, more functional items, and just things I thought would look cute and cozy with everything else I've done. I think this space works. Now, for an AI-generated house, it's not as bad as it could have been. It's still quite bad. This is funky, and I didn't add in that extra dining area in the living area. I couldn't. So, it's functional, barely, because in the original, there was no tub, at least not that you could see. I decided I needed to add the tub, and I didn't add in the fake windows. So, yeah, that's what we've got. And now I need to do a bit of an exterior. I'm going to start off by adding shutters. I don't know, I feel like this house, it could work. Because there's only 4 windows, I really want to make a statement, so that's why I think the shutters are my best bet. Now I'm going to see about adding some window boxes. That's pretty... Okay, the house has a little bit of something now. Now I'm going to go ahead and roof this baby. It's going to be a real simple roof job. I'm thinking just boom, and then boom. I will adjust it, make it shorter, and then I'll add some type of awning over the door. This nice awning from Business and Hobbies, I think that works, and it's really cute with the little string lights. So yeah, that's nice. I'm using the nice Life and Death piece swatch for the roof. I think it's nice. It goes well enough, and now I need to figure out how to do the rest of this. Oh god, that looks so bad. That looks so bad. Yeah. I wonder if I change my mind and do something more modern, would that look better? I don't even know. Look, I know the original didn't have an awning, but it looks so much better if I do. You know what? No. It's not in the original. It's not in the original floor plan. I've kind of cheated a little bit already. So, I'm not going to. As much as it looks better, I'm not going to. And I think by adding this water drain right here, it helps set off the off-balance window a little bit. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going to go into terrain paint. I'm going to use this one because it's quite similar to what they have on the pathing in the image. So that's what I'm going to do. And I think about this size. And I'm going to turn on the grid for this just so that I have that as a reference for where I should draw. Because I can't draw straight to save my life. So there is the pathing. It definitely needs landscaping and some siding, but we'll get to that. Right now I'm just adding a mailbox and a trash can out here. I don't know, this one it screams trash can. I think it's kind of fun and cute, so that's what I'm gonna do. Not lighter, yeah. Then I think I'm gonna add a little bit of a gardening area right here. Nothing extreme. Just a little something to give this place, something. Now, time to find a nice siding. Now on the image, one side is kind of blue. So, I don't know. Let's see if I can make this work. And then this other side is tan. I mean, it's something. The only problem with doing that is that in the back here, it's a little weird. I'll see if I can find something to fix this. I can do another drain on the seam. I mean, it works. Now I'm going to look at some roof trim. Nice bulky roof trim, and then a chimney that kind of matches up where I put the fireplace-ish. Maybe? Maybe over one. Yeah, that's probably about right. And then I kind of want to add some little shrubbery right around, growing around the chimney. I think that'd be cute. Okay, I don't really have the room for this, but like, look how fun that is. It's fun. There, that's cute. That's nice. Okay. I wonder if I could. Hang on, hear me out. There it is. That's what I wanted to do. It's very finicky, but it works. Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. And now I'm just going to do some boring ass landscaping down below. And here I have the final product. The outcome was okay, you know? I've used the bigger bushes here because I wanted to give it like a feature, because the house is pretty boring. And then I just kind of line the rest with some basic shrubbery. Yeah, pretty boring, but it works. It gets the job done. And I added these little planters in the front and the little gold fixtures on the lights. I kind of love that. You know, the exterior is probably the best part of this house because the interior is just, oh my god. Anyway, well, that's the build challenge, that's the video. I will put this on the gallery. It's horrible, but you can get it if you want. Like, comment, subscribe. Gives me so much motivation. Yeah, I really want to hear your comments on how you think I did on this, because it's a little, you know, but it turned out okay. And leave any comments down below also for any other build challenges you want me to try. Yeah, see you next time.